Good morning. Uganda is still with us, and we are still looking at a couple of issues concerning the woman. In this particular case, we're looking at female genital mutilation. With me in studios is our guest, Beatrice Chelangat, who is the Director General of the REACH program. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for making time. And this is a very, very big problem for us. But what is female genital mutilation?
Female genital mutilation is a traditional practice that is done on the genitalia of a woman or a young girl. It involves cutting of the clitoris, the labias, and at one point sewing it together so that a small hole is left for urine and menstrual flow. It is done both on the babies, on the young girls, on the adolescent girls, and on women. It is a very painful process. One of my advocates describes it as it's like you are born being cut by a power saw when you're being cut. And in Uganda, it is practiced by a number of tribes. Many of us know about the Sebei community, who are in the districts of Kapchorwa, Kwena, and Bukwo. We have our cousins, the Pokot in Amudat. We have the Kadama in Akaprepret district, the Tepeth in Mount Moroto, that's in Moroto district. Then we have our communities scattered in the country, like the Sabini in the Busoga region, in the western region in Kriadongo. We have the migrant Somalis, Ethiopians, and the Eritreans here in Uganda. So it's just that not a lot of documentation is done, but FGM is practiced in many districts in Uganda, right up to the city here in Kampala.
Oh my! So, but what is the REACH program?
REACH stands for Reproductive, Educative, and Community Health. It's an intervention that came to place some 22 years ago, when government partnered up with the UNFPA to come up with an intervention to address female genital mutilation, because there was a lot of noise about genital mutilation during the constitution making process. And then come the ICPD conference of Cairo in 1994. And in January 1995, one girl was cut by force in the present Bukwa district. And this girl tried to seek legal address. It was all fruitless because we didn't have a specific law protecting this girl. She was even cut beyond the cultural season. Yeah, and she was cut by force, and as I speak, that girl is now traumatized, completely out of her senses because of the torture that she went through.
So traditionally, why did we see, or even now it's still happening, what are the reasons given for female genital mutilation?
Yeah, the major reason is the preservation of culture and the control of a woman or a girl child. Yeah, so it is believed that when a girl or a woman has undergone female genital mutilation, her sexual urge is controlled, and she goes through the traditional trainings which control her to live as a very submissive wife or woman in the community and before the family. Yes.
Very interesting. But now we know it was outlawed.
Yes.
But it is still happening.
It was outlawed. It is still happening.
It is still happening. Why are we saying this happening?
It is not a surprise. I remember, it should have been in 2000 BC, when the whole world got the first set of the 10 Commandments. Don't steal, don't murder. Yeah, but don't we see stealing happening today?
Yeah.
And yet stealing is not a culture, but this one is a traditional culture that was sanctioned by the elders and everybody. So it cannot take just a week to say stop. It's like telling the Ugandan community, stop practicing or celebrating Christmas. It is not easy to have that immediate stop. Yeah, so we have different levels of understanding and all that, and that's why we have these varying degrees of response to the messages Stop FGM or the law in place. So we have a lot to do in changing the attitudes of the people. The law alone cannot stop female genital mutilation. We need to continue talking to the people using the cultural approaches that are acceptable in the community. And I'm happy that we are using one of the acceptable cultural approach of celebrating cultural days. And on 30th November of this year, we are having the 22nd Culture Day celebration in Bukwa district. Yeah, where we promote other good cultural practices, and we use the same fora to say no to female genital mutilation, no to child marriage, and no to all other harmful traditional practices in Uganda and beyond.
Okay, very interesting. Now, let us look at some of the challenges that have come with this. What are those things that we need to talk about that are bad, that come negative with female genital mutilation? Because maybe some people culturally may think, no, this is very good for us. But let us look at the problems or the challenges that come with FGM.
Yeah, the immediate challenge is the sharp pain that a woman goes through as a result of the cut. Then there is the bleeding part of it. They cut the most sensitive, highly part of the body that is highly supplied with blood. And many women, after the practice, bleed and suffer from shock, and others actually die. Others, as a result of the scar, develop keloids, which make it difficult for them to walk. Others suffer from paralysis.
Oh my.
Others, because of the infections and the way that is done, it leads to barrenness. And I can't talk more about the sexual complications because it is a scar. How can one enjoy the natural love-making process? So it's a very big challenge, and that's why I will never stop saying no to female genital mutilation. I will always speak about it in all fora. And that's why our theme for this year's Culture Day is Champions Never Give Up in stopping female genital mutilation. Yes.
Now, what we're looking at here, what does this mean to us really at the end of the day? Because this is a practice that is in our communities, even when it has been outlawed. What does this, when we look at what is happening really, what does it mean to us?
Yeah, to me as an activist, it means we still have to do more to reach and to save the girl child from female genital mutilation.
That is very, very sad that this particular practice is still going on. Now, let us look at, you've been talking about what is going to be happening.
The annual Sabine Culture Day.
Indeed. Who are probably who is our guest? Who's our chief guest?
Yeah, the chief guest that our community chose is the chief champion of women's rights, and that's none other than the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, the Speaker of Parliament. She has vowed that whenever she's available, she's willing to speak for the girl child in these FGM practicing communities.
And she's been very vocal about it.
Very vocal, and she comes to talk to us in the communities. We've worked together. She has, some of us are doing what we are doing because of her inspiration.
Okay. Now, what are some of the activities or projects you've involved yourself in as the REACH program to make sure that this problem or this challenge is being addressed and addressed loudly?
Yeah, what we've done is to advocate for the whole reproductive health, education, and community development.
Okay.
What does that mean? We've worked with the government and the United Nations Population Fund to put up health facilities to serve as service delivery points in the most rural areas. We've advocated for model girls schools. Yeah, and I'm happy that the President was able to ensure that at least we have 5 model girls schools as we speak. 2 are already operational. And then we've also brought on board old women we've created a grandmother movement against female genital mutilation in the whole Sebei and Karamojong region, so that they can monitor and reach out to their grandchildren. Then we've also come up with a skilling program, which we call the Royal Girl Vocational Institute, where some of these disadvantaged girls come and train in tailoring, salon, and even driving. This is a new initiative we began this year. Then what we're also doing is involving the women in packaging their products. Yeah, the Sebei region grows a lot of coffee, and actually the best coffee in Uganda, the Arabica. So we've introduced, we came up with an initiative called the FGM Free Project, where we are promoting packaging and taking coffee in the community.
Interesting.
Yes.
That is a very smart one, really. Yeah. Now, what challenges does this FGM place on us as a country at the end of the day?
Yeah, from my experience, it puts the country in okay, I don't know how to put it. Yeah, the burden on the health facility is high. The burden on the education facilities is also high, because when a girl undergoes female genital mutilation, she's mandated to get married immediately. That means that she has to begin having children as young as 15, and that means producing more children. Then, obviously, that increases the vicious circle of poverty, which strains the resource base of Uganda. Yeah.
Okay, so finally, as we wind up, really, how have you handled the victims? Being victims of FGM, how are you handling them as the rich? How have you handled them?
Is it those who have undergone the practice?
Those that have already undergone the practice and are dealing with the aftermath as the REACH program. Have you dealt with them?
Yeah, most of them, like those who were forced to undergo FGM and were still girls, we supported them to go back to school and they go to higher levels of education. And then women who used to survive from cutting and mentoring girls, we've brought them on board as advocates of change. And we take them to speak for the girl child in the local radio stations. We involve them in drama and song activities, so that they are part of the new change.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and then the elders who sanction the culture, we've partnered with them, and that's why sometime they were able to win the United Nations Population Award in New York for the work they are doing in reaching out to the community, using the social norms to say no to female genital mutilation. And I'm so grateful to the government of Uganda, the Parliament of Uganda, the United Nations Population Fund, the program of UNICEF, UNAIDS, for all the support they have given us, because without that, we would not be singing even the song of having legalized FGM. It is through their work, their support, that we're able to use the bottom-up approach to have a law banning FGM in Uganda.
Okay, so Beatrice, our time has run out, but finally, a word on the issue of female genital mutilation. That is your camera, maybe you can say something.
My word is champions never give up. Whoever has ever worked with us, never give up until no more FGM in Uganda and Africa. Thank you. Let's stand tall every day until no more FGM.
Indeed. Female genital mutilation is a problem and a huge challenge that will come back and bite us eventually. Now, our guest, Beatrice Chilangat, who is the Director General of REACH Program. Thank you so much, Beatrice, for your time.
Thank you for hosting me.
Indeed. And this is an issue. Next time we have more time to get into it and discuss further. You're still watching GMU Agenda. Don't go away. Thank you very much.
Thank you.